So you see, last week when this news of Omicron came in for the first time, this statement, the official statement from government of Botswana, where it was found first, it is available on the internet. I have downloaded, I have a copy of it. It's authorized statement. They said that 4 travelers who had come in, international travelers, they tested positive for this variant. Okay. And all 4 are vaccinated. Now, this is their official statement. So is it not very obvious? Now, not paying heed to this fact, we see that the WHO and the governments are continuing with the narrative that, okay, the vaccines are safe, please go ahead and take the vaccines. So who has tested within such a short time that vaccines are working for this particular variant? So one has to address it.
Yeah.
And coming to AstraZeneca, which is Covishield in India is AstraZeneca abroad. So this vaccine is prohibited or is barred in 11 European countries, AstraZeneca. So why are we in India allowing it still? And especially when there have been serious side effects. You know, in addition to this case, which I narrated a while ago, Hitesh Kadve, the 23-year-old man who lost his life, there is another case, and this case is particularly interesting. I'll explain why. Dr. Snehal Lunawat, she was a 32-year-old dentist based in Aurangabad, and she took her first dose around end of January 2021. That was the time when vaccines were introduced and frontline workers were made to take, it was the policy at that time that frontline healthcare workers would be the priority class who would be given the vaccines. So she took her first shot, and it seems complications started immediately. And she had traveled to Delhi for some conference, and there her situation, her health deteriorated a lot. She was admitted to AIIMS Delhi, and it just started deteriorating. And she succumbed to that problem. Like there was a blood clotting in her brain, and she succumbed. She lost her life. And you see, this case was referred to the AEFI. AEFI is our adverse event following immunization. There is a national committee which is set up. So when we refer the cases to them, they would investigate the case and would come up with a conclusion whether the death was caused due to the vaccine or not. Interestingly, in this case, the AEFI report has come in on 2nd of October 2021, and it conclusively states that there is a causal relationship between death of Dr. Snehal Lunawat and the vaccine shot. So it is clearly a case of death due to vaccines. So even her family is now going to initiate the legal action. She was a very meritorious doctor. You know, our team members had visited her home in Aurangabad in Maharashtra. So she was a very brilliant, bright doctor, and there is like a full cupboard of trophies inside her home. So you see, we lost a very valuable doctor from our country. And she must have believed that the vaccine is indeed safe as it was claimed. Even today, we see health authorities and politicians and top health officials who are part of our national task force saying that vaccine is 110% safe. How is it 110% safe? And I want to make one more point here. See, in their narrative, they keep on reiterating one statement that benefits outweigh the risks. Now, I have a question. Can Dr. Snehal Lunawat, who died due to this Covishield, or Hitesh Kadve, who died due to this Covishield vaccine, if we ask their parents, or if we try to convince their parents that benefits outweigh risks, can they buy it? So somebody who has lost the near and dear ones, he has lost the person, and no amount of money, the person is not going to come back ever. So I would say every human life is valuable, and nobody has a right to decide, okay, fine, there are like 5 people have died or 10 people have died, thousands have died amongst a population of 138 crores. This is entirely wrong. It's unethical. It's immoral, in my opinion. So I cannot buy this argument or this statement saying that benefits outweigh the risks. And now we have certain section of doctors who keep, who advance this argument that yes, vaccines are never safe. There is a possibility of death. Well, if you are aware of this, why don't you make everybody aware who is going in for the shots? How can you make it compulsory for everyone? how can you stifle the lives that you prohibit, the basic necessary services to them, daily needs for them, and leave them with no option but to go in for the shot when you are aware that vaccines are not entirely safe? And how on earth can one claim so? This is entirely a fraudulent claim, a misleading statement, which is
Right.
very alarming. And we want people to know this as early as possible. We want them to wake up very soon and rise up against this medical tyranny.